right, to start off, To start off the first press conference, we have from Washburn University, head coach Ron McHenry, Cassie Lombardino, Ebony Williams, and Stevie Schultz. So to start the press conference, Coach McHenry will start with an opening statement.
First round games are really difficult, especially when you play Missouri Western, who, Cook is, been one of the best players in the league, maybe the history of the league, as far as how she can score and play. And then with Curry added in there is another great scorer, and so it was a really tough first round draw. We hadn't played Curry yet. I mean, she had not been on the floor all year when we played him, so it was going to be new to us who was going to guard her and how we were going to guard her. So I was really a little nervous for the game, and the girls, I reminded them after the game that I was a little nervous. They said we felt that, coach. So it was nervous enough that they knew. Definitely we're going to overlook them. They got some talent, and the way they started that game showed a lot of their talent. Cook's, the way she was hitting it early, we had our hands full. I got to give our kids a ton of credit for fighting down there. I mean, 1 versus 8, and all of a sudden they get down 10. Everybody in the house thinks you can get back, but it's a hard fight back. And I give our kids credit for fighting it back so quick too. And not only the starters, but the second group did a nice job of kicking it back. But then from there we played solid, really solid. Our inside game was good. Sometimes Western isn't as big as some teams in our league, but in the past we haven't really gone inside. We've struggled to go inside against them, but today, I thought our inside players were pretty dominant in there against a smaller lineup, but sometimes we haven't done that against Western, so I thought we got our inside game going, which really helped our outside game. But, like I said, I feel really good to get this one under our belt and to move on, because I know what kind of talent Western got. I liked our balanced scoring. I liked our rebounding. They're such a great transition offensive team that you really have to spend days working on getting back and guarding, because they do it as good as anybody. As a matter of fact, we changed our offense halfway through the year after I watched them, or we felt them one game, how quickly they got them down the floor, so we tried to change our secondary into theirs. So, very good transition team, but I think our girls played well. I know there were times we didn't play really well, but I thought for the most part, opening game against the Western team was great talent, we played pretty well.
All right, we're going to go ahead and open up the press conference for questions for both coach and the players.
Let's talk about the start. Did you feel a little nervous in the opening minutes of the game?
Yeah, I felt a little nervous at the beginning. I knew it was going to be a big game, and we weren't definitely overlooking them. And our practices building up to this were really good, and I think we just came out strong. And I knew that it was going to be a big game and a tough game, and I think we did really well. I mean, we got down in the first couple minutes, and I think we did a really good job fighting back. We could have kind of just slacked off then, but we stayed in the fight, and we kept going, and I think we did a really good job with that.
Stevie, you talked about the cold start. I mean, she just grew on her. She just came on fire.
She's a great player. When she gets going on her threes, it's hard to stop. When she gets confident that she's going to hit, she'll pull any time, and that's when it's hard to stop, is when she gets her head up. And we definitely let, not even just her, we let quite a few of them get their heads up in the beginning, and it's hard to get their heads back down.
You guys scored like 23 in a row. I mean, what kicked in from you guys?
We just wanted to dig down and really play defense, and we really needed to rebound. And we stopped their fast break. That's a team that loves to run. So we did a good job on stopping their fast break and just getting tough and playing D and rebounding.
Any more questions for Coach McHenry or the players?
Stevie, can you talk about the run too? I mean, you guys couldn't get a shot early, then all of a sudden started getting
We just knew we had to dig in, get stops, board it and run. They had a run on us, and when we get a run on them, we got to keep it going. But at halftime we even said, we know that they're going to come back at us and get a run at us, and they brought it back within 10 a few times, I think. But yeah, whenever they start running at us, you just got to get a stop and take your run at them.
Yeah, you had a couple of those. I mean, a couple of times they were doing 6, 8, and second half. You really seem to kind of come up with a big basket.
I'm just trying to be there for my teammates. Whatever they need me to do, I'm just there. All credit goes to them. They played really well tonight.
Cassie, a big game for you. This a couple years ago, you kind of had a breakout game here in the first round, so this kind of reminds you of that.
didn't really think about that. I was just focused on this game, but yeah, I guess. I just knew that, I mean, they're a little smaller inside, so you might as well take it at them and see what they give us. And, you know, they double a lot, so we kind of worked off of that, and our guards did a really good job moving without the ball so I could get them on the outside. And just, I think we played really well together as a team.
Coach, what was kind of your plan for taking out Cook and Curry, just limiting them today, and how do you think they execute?
Well, you know, and I'm glad you asked that question, because I'd be forced not to mention the defensive job that, you know, Cook gets 25, but I think she can go for 40 today the way she was going. And, you know, she hits some really tough shots. And, you know, Stevie just is one of those players that'll just stand in there and fight it. You know, she guards kind of just by toughness. And you have to do that against a player like Cook, because she'll just keep coming. And you have to stand in there without fouling. And I know a couple times late, Lynn was upset. And I thought Stevie did a great job of just trying to stay between her and the basket. And that's hard on Cook. And so I kind of felt that, you know, Stevie, if we could keep her out of foul trouble, could stay with Cook and keep her at a number that we could maybe win the game with. And then that was the first time we played Curry, and so we didn't really know who we'd match up there. I knew it'd be Ebony, but again, if you get in foul trouble, who's coming in next to handle her? Because she's got the same kind of stuff that Cook does. So, you know, just I put really our two best perimeter guarders. The only problem I knew was that they're also our two best perimeter scorers. So all of a sudden, when you put your best scorers in a tough situation to defend somebody, you could get in foul trouble, you could get them worn out. So it was really a tough call, but we didn't really have any other choice. Those two were big-time players that could drive you, and you got to put some big-time defenders on them. But, you know, no special plan. I know we wanted to lean over, and the Stone kid hit a couple jumpers, but we were going to help over. We were going to stand in the lane and make somebody else hit some jumpers on us. You have to. If Cook sees an open floor, she's going to take it. So we really slid over. Our post slid over, and so it opened up some open jumpers. In the first half, Stone missed those jumpers. Second half, she hit a couple of them. But that's what we were going to give up. We had to give up there, and then, you know, and then with number one Cassidy hitting the threes the last game, now we had to stay home on her. So it really got to be a really funny matchup, because sometimes we'd come off of Cassidy, but we couldn't. Because of her last game. So just put our two best defenders on them, the two kids that I know will set the fight, and then try to lean over a little bit. But, you know, I feel really good about our stoppage on Cook, and she has 25, you know. I think we frustrated Curry. I think it really got, you know, she missed a couple shots she normally gets, and I think Ebony, among other players, did a nice job of just staying between her and the basket. But when they transition so hard, anybody can grab those two kids because they run so hard. Yeah, we want them matched up. So that's your other challenge. Is early in the game, I know Cook got a three off of our power forward, but in transition, she had to pick her up. So we were going to get that transition look. But, you know, our kids did a great job. I mean, I know 25 points is 25 points, but I think it was a tough 25 by Cook. But nothing special, just trying to give a little help when we could come off player.
All right, we have time for one last question.
That's it, they're answering, not me, because I didn't go to the wall.
One last question for the players.
Any idea, you got a day off now, nice to have that day off before the season round?
Yeah, tomorrow should be a fun day for all of us. Kind of come together as a team, because I think we get to go do some community service and just spend some time together, and even just spend time together in hotels and stuff. But it's good to have a day off, and we should have fun tomorrow.
I'm going to sleep. I'm old.
All right. Thanks, Washburn.